Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on albums flopping. Well, pretty much my opinion on, if or when an album flops. Because I feel like a lot of people like to just pass it around. Like, oh, if an artist didn't sell as much as their last album, then it's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. And there's two artists that I want to talk on. Now, I had listened to one of the albums, but I haven't listened to the one from the artist because he just dropped it 2 days ago. Well, technically yesterday, but since I live on the West Coast, music comes out at 9 o'clock. So yeah, we get to listen to music a tad bit. It's it still falls all at the same time, because it's midnight across the country and stuff. But just for us, I don't know. But anyways, yesterday Post Malone, he dropped an album, and I guess the album, did he drop it yesterday or last week? I think he dropped it last week. Actually, my fault. Well, I feel like he dropped it yesterday. Hold on for a second. Let me see real quick. And it's third week. First week. Oh, so it's on pace to sell 130K this week. Okay, so actually, no. I got my info wrong. I thought I had seen that the album has sold 130K for this week. But I was like, the album just came out yesterday. So I was like, how did it already? I'm like, fam, if it was just only one day, I'm like, that's good. For it to sell 130K sales in one day, I'm like, no, that's solid. But no, so, but I guess it's on the pace to sell that. But, so, I guess when that time does come and when we see, how much it has sold and things, then, yeah. But either way, whether it's small or not, here's the thing, because I wanted to defend artists that, they don't do so well with sales and stuff. And the two artists that I wanted to talk on is Kendrick and Post Malone. Now, in our time, those are some of the most biggest artists, in, our music lives right now. I guarantee, I promise you that people know who Post Malone is. People know who Kendrick Lamar is. So, at the end of the day, people have a choice on not whether they want to listen to his music. Now, if they don't listen to his music anymore because that's not their vibe, that is on them. And whatever reason they have, for themselves on not listening to those artists, that is on them. Now, I'm a fan of both artists. I listen to Kendrick because I'm like, hey, I haven't heard Kendrick drop in a while. I'm like, yeah, he's doing songs here and there, but what? Last time he dropped it was, when he released his album, Damn, and then he released that Black Panther album. That was the last bit of music we got from him. And then he recently started doing music with his cousin Baby Keem. So my thing is this. And then on top of that, he's working on a brand. I think it's a record label / I think it's just overall altogether a brand. But regardless, Kendrick got a lot of things on his mind right now. Now, if I feel like if all these things was going on, even when he released his last album, the albums probably wouldn't have sold as well. But it's if you got a lot of things on your mind, if you got a lot of things that you're doing, how are you supposed to focus on promoting an album so it could get these high amount of sales and stuff? At the end of the day, it's I see it as this. He's living and I think people seem to forget that. It's bro is living good right now with all the music that he got, because let's just see how many monthly players or listeners Kendrick Lamar has. Let's just look at that real quick. And now I'm just only looking on Spotify. We ain't talking on Apple Music, YouTube, and everywhere. He has 49 million, 49 million monthly listeners. So that means people are still listening to Good Kid, Mad City, that Untitled album. What are some other albums of his? His latest album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Damn, To Pimp a Butterfly, the Black Panther album. You got all of these songs, and let's just... And yeah, all of the songs off of his last album, they all have well over, in the double digits of, millions of views. So in my opinion, my thing is this, because people were tripping off of the fact that his album first week it sold 200, or it had 286,000 sales, and I'm thinking in my head like, fam, that's good. In my opinion, that's good, and it's not like, and it's crazy because let it have been like another artist that's small, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, that's good, that's a W." You know, he just started off. This is his first, or she just started. Whoever they were like, they just started off. This is their first album. Oh yeah, no, they're good. But if it's Kendrick, it's like, oh no, that's bad. His last album, he sold all these like I think it was like 600 and something thousand or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but. No, people are like comparing it to that. And I'm like, first off, they're two different albums. They are two different albums. I'm like, damn, it was a good album. It was a really good album. But that vibe that I got from that album ain't the same vibe that I got from this last album. This last album, because my thing is like, I feel like with him leaving, so and I think a lot of people do know that too, that Kendrick, this is like his final album to for his previous record label that he was signed to, Top Dog Entertainment. Now, if this was just like a throwaway album, he was just only, releasing this album just to release it, and it was just like, hey, I've been sitting on these songs, or these are the songs I could come up with at the time. And then on top of that, it's like, if you listen to one of the songs where he did kind of talk on that, where he kind of had like a moment where he couldn't really think of like what to write for his music. So like, if this is what came to mind, if like the production that he put into this, because to me, if people ask me how I feel about this last Kendrick album, I loved it. I honestly think it was one of the best albums he's released. Like, no, this is a top tier album, and it's definitely going to be a classic. Yeah, it might not have done so well in sales, but it's like, think of like some of the cult classic movies for an example. Think of a movie like Friday. That movie didn't do so well in the box office. Let's see real quick. Friday movie. Like, and it became a cult classic, but it didn't do so well. So yeah, like, so the box office, like, I think for like, when it originally released, it was $27.4 million compared to like movies like the Avengers, because I'm saying Friday gets played like those Marvel movies. Like, I promise you, like, it might not be on that same level as an Avenger movie, but I'm saying it has that like level of fame like an Avengers movie. Like, everybody knows of the movie Friday, but it didn't do so well when it came out. But look at it now. That movie is a cult classic. It lunged some of the like artists, or not artists, but it lunged some of the actors' careers in that movie. Chris Tucker, I feel like after that, he landed himself some big roles in movies and stuff. I mean, he already was making a name for himself, but I do feel like that after Friday release, like, Chris Tucker was on a whole new platform when it came for like to movies and stuff. And same with everybody else. Nia Long, Ice Cube, the guy played this Debo, freaking Tiny Lister and stuff. It launched these guys' careers. Like, these guys had some, like, they did some movies after that. So I think a lot of people are not realizing that too. It's like Kendrick had like some artists featured on that album, even with like the music. I think it was like I think Baby Keem was on the album too. Hold on, let me check real quick. I know people are like, bro, did you listen to the album? It's like, you don't even know if Baby Keem was on the album or not. Fam, I got a lot going on in my life right now, so forgive me for not overall, like, hold on for a second. All right, Baby Keem. I feel like it'll be a lot easier looking it up this way. Other charted songs, guest appearances. Yeah, so he was featured on the album and stuff. He was featured, huh? He was, well, nobody never did get a chance to listen to Donda 2, but I was like, that's a feature right there. But anyways, but no, I'm saying, like, you are a part of this album like from a big artist. I feel like that's good. You know, it's like it's good for Kendrick to release another album, but I do feel like that it launched the career of all the artists that was featured that didn't really have like a big platform. So now it's like, because you sit down and think about it, think of like all the other times when like with even with music and with movies and TV shows. You know, a TV show that talk on it's like, and I feel like that really did well for that artist. But I'm pretty sure everybody remembers. If you don't, there was this TV show on Nickelodeon called Victorious, right? And it was about this actor named Victoria Justice. The show was about her. Yes, her friends was featured. Her friends was on the show. They also was singing and all that other stuff. You know, they were showing off their talents. Tell me why, explain to me why Ariana Grande is literally the biggest person to come out of that show. To the point where they had gave her spin-off show, and now look at her. She is, like, honestly, she is definitely, like, top 5, top 10 artists of our time right now. You cannot look at me and tell me that Ariana Grande is not popping off. The girl ain't even dropping no music right now. Let's just see how many monthly listeners she has on Spotify. Ariana Grande, 52 million monthly listeners. Now that's not that much up from Kendrick, but I'm saying like you literally like was a not a standby, but like a co-actor. Like you wasn't like the main part of the show, but look at how successful her career versus and it's no disrespect to Victoria Justice. I'm just using the show as an example and stuff. I know I feel like people are gonna 300,000 monthly listeners, like that's crazy. Y'all need to put some respect on Victoria Justice's name and stuff. Y'all ain't gonna be disrespecting Victoria Justice like that. But no, I'm saying though, but it's stuff like that. Or just like even with sports, if you look at sports where it's like you'll have like Tom Brady or something on the team, but if he like passes the ball off to a really good running back or a really good wide receiver or whoever, I'm saying like people are going to they're going to be paying attention to that person. They might get a new level of fame because of that. So I see it as this. This is a W. Kendrick album. There's nothing wrong with the album. It was a really well thought out, put together album. You literally have a song from that album going viral on TikTok. And I feel like when a song goes viral on TikTok, there ain't no turning back. There ain't no turning back whatsoever. So my thing is this, and I think then another thing, it's like you also gotta look at the artists that was featured on that album. Now they're on a new level of success because of themselves being featured. And I think I just seen on DJ Academics' Instagram page where the album, it's still making sales. Like I think they said its third week it's made 88,000 sales. So I'm saying, like, it's still making sales. It's not like the album died off or the hype around it died off. Like, you still hear people talking on this Kendrick album like it dropped yesterday. So that's why it's like people trying to, like, disrespect that album. Or even going back on Post Malone where it's like they're trying to say, like, oh, his album. And then on top of that, it's like, because a lot of people were saying that too with Post Malone where this is like a throwaway album. He just released this album so he can hurry up and get out his contract with his record label and stuff. Fam, like, if that's the album that they put out, that's the album that they put out. I'm like, let's see what music they do in the future. But it's not like their career is over or their career is dead or they're, they have that level of fame. Because even, like, think about it, like, with actors, all right? Getting back on the acting stuff. When you look at like a top tier actor, right, where they've had like Denzel Washington, for an example, let's say, his biggest movie of all time was Training Day, right? That was a good movie. It was like a top tier movie. That movie didn't launch his career. I'm pretty sure he's had other movies that's launched his career, but overall. Or actually, you know what? No, I feel like Denzel Washington. He's one of those top tier actors. Where it's like if you see him in a movie, you know it's gonna be good regardless. Well, actually, you know what? No, like no. Let's no. We're gonna use Denzel Washington. I'm going back. I'm putting down my Uno reverse on another Uno reverse. But no, we're going right back to Denzel Washington because I was trying to think of some movies that he's released in the recent time that wasn't on that same level as Training Day, but it was still good. So for those that don't know, yeah, Training Day, top tier movie. Like it's another like cult classic movies. It's crazy because I don't think that was the movie to launch his career, but I know like after seeing that movie and then seeing him being featured, Terry Crews was in that movie. He didn't have no lines. All he had to do was just stand there and look like a scary gang member. That's all he had to do. And it seemed like after that, what? He had White Chicks. He had Everybody Hates Chris. He was some other movies and stuff that he's had. He has like, I think a new, isn't he like a guest or like, not a guest, but a host of a TV show? He does something. Hold on for a second. Cause that's going to bother me. But yeah, I'm saying like, not his age. Hex-based, dang. But yeah, I'm saying like that launches, and he was a football player. Like he, you know, well, I don't know. Maybe it might have been his football career and stuff. But let's just go to like all his films and alright films. So yeah, so it was like Friday After Next. Like he was in Friday After Next also. I feel like that definitely lunged his career. So yeah, maybe Friday After Next. I feel like that's a better thing. But America's Got Talent. Okay, I was like, I knew he was like a host of a TV show or something. But anyways, what was I saying? I was saying something, then just got distracted. Thanks a lot, Terry Crews. But anyways, Denzel Washington, going back on him and stuff, because he had that movie Training Day. All right, and I was like top tier movie, and then fast forward, he does this movie called Fences. Now, if you have not seen that movie by Denzel Washington, that is a really good movie. I would definitely recommend watching it. Is it on the same level as Training Day? No, far from it. I don't even think it made the same amount of money than Training Day. But no, let's see real quick. Acting credits: Denzel Washington on stage. Okay, Flight was a pretty good movie too. That was another good movie from Denzel Washington. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, let's see. All right, The Equalizer. Where's Flight at? Flight. He did do that movie, The Book of Eli. I feel like that was a good movie too. You know, let's open that movie up also. Fences. Okay, so Training Day, box office, $104 million. Fences, $64.4 million. I'm saying it's Denzel Washington. You would think. All right, and then let's see some of his other movies. The Equalizer, I feel like probably made more than it made $192.3 million. Flight, it made 161 point. Well, I feel like he should be making like 500 million a movie or something. 157. That's crazy. But all those movies, Training Day, The Equalizer, Flight, The Book of Eli, all those movies came out before Fences, yet Fences doesn't have. So that's what I'm overall saying. It's like a movie, we know of that. We know it's going to be good. We know that movie is going to be successful regardless of how much money it makes in the box office or how many sales it makes in a week if we talk in music. We know that it's going to be good because it's coming from a person. When have they ever failed with music? And now all of a sudden people want to look at like their last album like, oh, it was a failure because it didn't do as well as their previous. Fam, the thing is this, all right, and this is, I'm gonna just end it off on this. Other artists are releasing music. Now, I remember at one point in time I was listening to Kendrick every single day. But as the time progressed on, I got more involved into other artists. Talking on one artist, and it's no disrespect, may his soul rest in peace, XXXTentacion. I was listening to him every day. But other artists came out And I was listening to those guys. Now I'm listening to other artists every single day. That is literally how the music industry, the movie industry, the TV show industry, how it works. It's not that you lost interest, it's that it's like the art and craft of like music, TV shows, movies, it gets overwhelming. So we're not gonna be, and I think people like, if you did listen to the album, then yeah, you're probably all like, I don't care how good or how bad the album did, I still like it. My thing is like, I'm listening to like, no, there's songs from that album that I'm listening to all the time and stuff because I like those songs. I like the whole album. But I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, the album flopped, or this was wrong with the album, this was wrong with the album and stuff. Like, people over trying to like overly criticize something, and it's like, for what? Why are you even like, why does it even matter if the album flopped? Okay, if it flopped, oh well. He's going to come out with more music, and if I'm saying, my thing is this. If I feel like if this was his last album, I feel like that was just a bad send-off. Where it's like, this is how people are looking at it. It's like, oh, it was an L album because it didn't do so well in sales. I'm like, man, get out of here with that. I ain't even hearing that. So, anyways, yeah, people can say what they want, but it's like, it's not going to have that same level. It's like, especially when you got other artists dropping either around the same time or sometime after, whenever. It's like, if a person lost interest in that artist, it's like they lost interest. So, anyways, yeah, I just think people need to chill when it comes on, when people are talking about that stuff. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk on that, rant about that real quick. That it's like, it's not an L album because it doesn't do well in sales. I'm like, it's an L album if it has poor production. It's an L album if like the lyrics just doesn't make any sense. It's an L album if like the artist, he just didn't put no heart and soul into that album. I'm like, that's what makes it an L album, not sales, alright? So, anyway, it's like, look at some of your all-time favorite movies. Because I'm saying, you got it where it's like, because I'm saying, like, do you go based, because I'm pretty sure there might be some people where it's like, oh, you go based off of Rotten Tomato and their ratings. There's movies that I've watched that Rotten Tomato has gave bad ratings to. For an example, one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'll watch that movie any day of the week. They made a Need for Speed movie based off of the video games. Love that movie. All-time favorite of that movie. And I guarantee and I promise you, when I have kids, I'm going to get them into that movie. If they don't like it, I'm like, oh well, that's still going to be my favorite movie and stuff. So I just personally think when people go out and they leave comments like that, they're trying to get some sort of approval or get some sort of like popularity by making it. It's like, fam, who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? I know I don't care. I'm still going to listen to the album. So, anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. Make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And then that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.